We have 2.5 left. Cade spins to the lane. Cade Cunningham fires topside, fills it up.
It's pretty obvious to me that some people think the rookie race is over and that guys like Mobley and Barnes are leaps ahead of Cade. Well, not so fast.
The Wizards can't score. Cade to the basket for a thumper.
I would argue that the rookie race is actually much closer than many people think, with guys like Mobley not being ahead by that much. And this video is not to take away anything from Mobley and Scotty and how they've played throughout this season. No, this video is mainly going to go over why I think Cade has a solid case of winning Rookie of the Year this season. But first, let's debunk some stupid arguments.
Shot clock's at 10. Isaiah Stewart with a screen. Cade turns, fires, and fills it up.
Now I'm first going to address the claims by many Pistons fans that the media and people alike have this narrative set against Detroit, and anything associated with Detroit has to be bashed or just has to be downplayed. And in the case of Cade, we've seen it right here with TNT.
We need to give credit to Cade Cunningham. We ran highlights last week. They weren't in there, and the city of Detroit loves you now.
Although I think this was a bit overblown by some, the Detroit Pistons fans are right to be angry because, as Candace Parker said, it's a shame that TNT didn't show any highlights from Cade during that career night that he had. And then there's just some straight up hating, and obviously the professional hater at work here. Jalen Green is a great player, but to downplay what Cade has done this season, I mean, it's just sad.
Cade Cunningham against Trent Jr. Cade turns the corner, gets to the rim, flips it up lefty and fills it up. Corey Joseph against Malachi Flynn out of the Piston timeout. Cade from the corner with the turn and gun, it goes!
This is where Cade is going to have to, pull off some spectacular performances because a lot of people in the media, they still hold some of the bad performances he had early on the season in their heads, and they still hold that as the argument as to why he shouldn't be above guys like Mobley in terms of being Rookie of the Year. And it's, it's an argument that I can entertain, but it's a pretty bad one.
Some people have compared it to how he plays a little bit like Luka, which I could see. Like, he's always kind of under control with the ball. He knows what he wants to do. He gets to his spots. He's a big guard. He's a really good passer. But he was not very good the first couple months of the year. I think Cade's start, for as good as he's been, I think his start was too slow for me to really give him serious consideration to move past either Barnes or Mobley Rookie of the Year race this year.
This isn't even true, first of all. He did have bad shooting nights early in the season, and that's really what got the headlines going. But he did everything else well. He played good defense, and as soon as Dwayne Casey put the ball in Cade's hands more for him to be the primary ball handler, that's when things really changed. That's when he started playing way better.
Here, Little Caesars Arena in downtown Detroit. Cade Cunningham with a drive, gets to the rim easily and lays it in. Cade Cunningham with a screen from Stewart. Cade gets his defender on his back.
You look at the stats he's been pulling up since the All-Star break, averaging over 21 points a game, shooting it at a higher clip than he's been shooting it early in the season. It's clear that Cade right now is playing like the most complete player that he was set to be when they drafted him #1. But somehow, some way, people are still going to detract saying, well, Cade is in a bad team. Well, his record's not nearly as good as guys like Mobley and Barnes with their teams.
And in a normal year, in a normal rookie class, he probably still would have been good enough to win Rookie of the Year because he's awesome. But in this year's rookie class, with Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes having huge roles on teams that are going to be in the playoffs, or at least have a good chance to be in the playoffs, I think those guys are the clear 1 and 2.
This is the argument that really pisses me off because what can he do with a team as bad as Detroit? Look, I'm showing highlights of certain players in the Pistons that, they've had some good games. But don't get it twisted. This Pistons team is horrible. And, rookies, especially rookies in lottery pick, they're not expected to have a good record. And the biggest reason why some of these guys like Mobley and Barnes do have good records on their team is because their teams are better. Mobley is playing with 2 players that were named in the All-Star game this season. And if you paid attention to Raptors basketball last season, that season in Tampa was a fluke season. Okay, we know the Raptors team was a playoff team to begin with.
Just under a minute and a half to play in the half. Cade Cunningham sees some daylight, scoops and scores. We have 2.5 left. Cade spins to the lane.
Just like in this game against the Hawks, Cade Cunningham has been clutch throughout the season, man. He's one of the clutchest rookies in the league. Bones Highland's the only player that averages more clutch points per game than Cade Cunningham. But the devil's in the details, as Bones Highland's stats in the clutch are coming from only 3 games played in that situation. Cade Cunningham's are coming from 28 games. In total points, Cade Cunningham leads all rookies by far with 61 clutch points. The next guy has 47. And if you followed Cade in college, you would see that the same thing happened then too. He scored 106 clutch points that season, and no other player had more than 63 clutch points beside him. Plus, guys on the court, they see how great Cade is already in his rookie year.
It up to Corey Joseph, and Cade gets it back. Cade inside, left hands it up off the glass and good.
In late stretches, DeRozan, who's one of the most clutch players in the league, was headhunting Cade, and he made him pay, man, with those mid-range shots. Tough mid-range shots. I mean, who can blame him, man? Anybody will get cooked by DeRozan in the mid-range. He's just that great of a player from down there. Now, that didn't stop DeRozan from having this to say about Cade Cunningham.
Mark, Dwayne Casey said he's seen some of your game and Cade Cunningham. What did you think of his game tonight?
I love him. I love him. I love it. I love his game. I'm definitely a fan. I told him after the game, I'm a big fan. I want to see him have an extremely successful career. He could be very, very special.
Guys see the talent that he has. They see the level that he's playing at already in his rookie year. I'm telling you guys, this is the most complete player in this rookie class. He is by far the rightful #1 pick. That isn't to say that he's clear rookie of the year right now, as Mobley I think has the edge. But Cade Cunningham, don't count him out just yet. In March, he's playing the best basketball out of all rookies right now. He's leading all rookies in points in March, in assists, and in free throw percentages right now.
Cunningham still with it. A lot of contact, knocked away, but Kelly Olynyk stays with it. Cade, calm, collected, buries the triple. Cade Cunningham with 27.
Wait, did I say he's leading all rookies in points in March? Scratch that, he's leading all rookies in points all season. And he had a bad start to the season. That's the thing with the bad start narrative. He had scored decent points. It's just the shooting that was abysmal. And now over the last couple of games, he's been shooting it at a much higher clip and at a much higher rate. And during a stretch where Evan Mobley has hit a sort of rookie wall in February. I mean, this is clearly a race that's much closer than a lot of people are making it out to be. In February, the Pistons had a great stretch of basketball, winning 6 of 9 games at one point, one of those games being against the Celtics. And even though the Celtics beat the Pistons in March, it was all praise from Marcus Smart.
It's exactly what I thought. He's going to come out, and he's not going to be very, very flashy, very vocal. He got more of a JT personality where he's just laid back, quiet. But if you don't step up to play, he will make you pay. And we've seen that, today he came out for rip in the first quarter, 13 points, and he was rolling.
This is where Pistons fans should be very excited. A guy like Cade Cunningham. Many people are comparing him now to how Luka Doncic plays because he's poised, he's composed, he seems rather mature for his age, and he seems like he's played multiple years in the NBA already. And that's not something that can be taught. That's something that players acquire through experience and life. And when you have the talent, plus the character and the hard work to back that up, oh man, your potential's through the roof.
Cade Cunningham working against Zubac. Got the pump fake, up and under. Isaiah Livers got a piece of Coffey's three-point attempt. Cunningham crossed him up.
And I think it's fair to say we're in good hands when it comes to, having a player like Cade Cunningham. After the Jazz game, where the Pistons beat the Jazz in the upset win, this beat reporter had this to say: there are more eyes on Scottie Barnes and Evan Mobley because those teams are actually playing winning basketball. But I've seen all three up close, and Cade Cunningham is in a league of his own. He plays well beyond his years, and he is so impressive in every facet of the game. I could not have said it better than that quote did, man. That quote gave so much justice to Cade Cunningham and how good he is. Now, am I saying that he's leagues ahead of guys like Mobley and Barnes? No, not at all. The rookie race, as I said before, is tight. But don't let team success be that much of a factor in your decision of who's rookie of the year, because that's not what we expect rookies to do. We don't expect rookies to have good records in their team. And really, those rookies, it's not just them that are playing good. Like, they have a great team around them. And Cade, in his case, he's having to carry so much more of the load than they do. And he's doing it at such a high level. And I didn't even get into the head-to-head matchup between the rookies. Like Cade Cunningham, I mean, he's having to guard the best players outright more often than not when he plays against teams. And he's had a big win against Jalen Green and the Rockets, big wins against the Raptors, and a big win against Mobley and the Cavs. I mean, he's showed up. He showed up in those games, and things really began to change for Cade when Killian Hayes was put on the bench and Cade was asked to handle the ball more. But Killian, don't get it twisted, man. I still think he's a good player. I still think he can reach the levels that we were expecting him to reach. And I talk about in this video why the Pistons should not trade him. I think if you're a Pistons fan especially, you should check that out. I think it would be a great watch for you. You'd enjoy it, especially if you enjoyed this video. Yeah, that's it. Have a great one.